I call this my blanket gun, and it is a single shot 12 gauge shotgun with a pistol grip. The reason I call it a blanket gun is during the fur trade era, a very popular gun was the smoothbore trade musket, flintlock trade musket, and they had something like a 42-inch barrel standard, and of course a buttstock. And a popular version of those guns was one that was either cut down to maybe a 20-inch barrel or something like that, with a full buttstock, that was known as a canoe gun, and an even shorter version with just a pistol grip and a short barrel that was referred to as a blanket gun because it could be rolled up in your bedroll, and it'd be out of sight and everything, easy to pack. The canoe gun was designed not so much for being able to be concealed, but to be maneuverable when you're riding in a canoe or something like that. So I call this the blanket gun because it's a pistol grip, and of course it's not concealable. By federal law it can't be concealable and still be a Title I firearm. In other words, let's cover that quickly. In order to be a Title I, in other words, a regular gun not covered by the NFA, which would require that it have a tax stamp paid on it and be registered with the federal government, just like a machine gun or something like that. In order to not be subject to that law, it has to both, to be a shotgun, has to both have a minimum of an 18-inch barrel and a minimum overall length of 26 inches. And as an aside, some of the guns that you see now, smoothbore firearms that are Title I, smoothbores, but like a pump shotgun, they're not shotguns legally. And the ones that, you know, like the Shockwave or whatever, that only have a 14-inch barrel, those are not legally shotguns because they are pistol grip only guns from the factory. And that's why they can have a 14-inch barrel, because the overall length is at least 26 inches. And because it's not a shotgun, because shotguns by the federal definition says that it's designed to be fired from the shoulder. So if it were designed to be fired from the shoulder, it would have to have a minimum 18-inch barrel. But because it's not designed to be fired from the shoulder, it doesn't have a minimum barrel length. It only has a minimum overall length requirement. And so that's an aside. That doesn't apply to this, and it doesn't apply to any gun that left the factory as a shotgun, or has ever had a buttstock on it. If you buy one of those Shockwaves or whatever and put a buttstock on it, then you're breaking federal law. And in fact, you forevermore will be breaking federal law by having that and not having it registered, because once it becomes a shotgun by putting a buttstock on it, it from then on is a shotgun. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that, but this is none of that. This is a shotgun because it came from the factory with a buttstock, and it's not a pistol grip only gun. So it has to have both minimum length of at least 26 inches and minimum barrel length of at least 18 inches. Now with a single shot like this, it can't be something like that anyway. It can't be a pistol grip only gun and not be a shotgun, because the shortness of the receiver dictates that in order to be 26 inches overall, it either has to have a barrel over 18 inches, good bit over in fact, or it has to have a vestigial buttstock. So if you were to start with a regular single shot break open shotgun, if you cut the barrel down to 18 inches, you wouldn't be able to cut the buttstock all the way down and make it a pistol grip. You would have to leave a few more inches on this end. And in my opinion, this is a better way to do it, because that vestigial buttstock doesn't really do anything for you if you leave the extra length. But this, and you know, they made these from the factory too. I didn't cut this one down, but anyway, guns like this were available from the factory. But this one, it has a pistol grip, but the barrel is just under 21 inches. And that gives it an overall length actually slightly greater than 27 inches. So it could actually have another inch taken off the barrel, but there's no reason to, because it's short enough as it is. And I don't know who made this. Let me see. Okay, it's a Foremost. Okay, it's Savage Arms. Foremost model 6647. And from Savage. That's interesting because Savage also owned Stevens, and most of their break action shotguns were Stevens guns, but this one says Savage. Foremost by Savage. Okay, so let's take it up at the range and test fire it a little bit. Actually shoots pretty close to aim, point of aim, as long as I remember to keep my support elbow straight.